Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Okay, very good afternoon. Sorry for a couple of minutes delay. I think we'll get started in the interest of time. This is a session on advances in process control, and it is a great pleasure to invite four presenters today in this session. The first presenter is Shubhi Gupta from IIT Gandhinagar. She'll be presenting her work on model predictive control of an Arduino device under system model mismatch.
Let me give you a quick overview of what today's session will be about. Firstly, I will be introducing you to the system used in our work, that is Temperature Control Laboratory, TC Lab. Then, in our work, we had explored MPC algorithms, and further on, we went on exploring explicit MPC, which is also known as multi-parametric MPC algorithms. As a last step, we went on exploring bi-level model predictive control algorithms. Such algorithms are an emerging concept and very rare literature is found on them. Let me give you a short introduction on the system used in this work. TC Lab is a multiple input, multiple output device. It has two heaters, two temperature sensors, and an epoxy which acts as a conductive part for heat transfer. This shield is mounted on an Arduino UNO, which has a microcontroller chip and analog and digital input-output pins. As you can see, the temperature sensors are connected to the analog pins and heaters are connected to the digital pins. This figure represents the working principle of our system. The temperature of the heater is constantly measured by the temperature sensor and sent to the computer via the Arduino UNO. The control algorithm implemented in the software calculates the manipulated variables required to maintain the temperature of the heater at the desired set point. Two energy balance equation describe the dynamic temperature response of a dual heater system. As you can see, the first equation indicates that the temperature change in heater 1 is basically due to three terms. The first term comprises of the convection and the radiation term from the ambient, and second term comprises of the radiative and convective heat transfer from the surface area between the two heaters. The last term is analogous to the heat generation term. A glimpse of what our system is. Let me give you a brief intro about what MPC algorithm is about. To define an MPC, we know that we need an objective function, we need a process model, and we need a set of constraints. MPC solves an optimization problem at each kth time step. So at each kth time step, a sequence of control input is calculated, which pushes the predicted output towards the reference trajectory in a finite time horizon. MPC problems are usually formulated as QP problem. In our case study, we have addressed our problem as a case of linear model predictive control formulation. So in this, you can very well see that the objective function is in the form of quadratic program, and the system dynamics is captured using the linear set of equations. And then you have the constraints on your manipulated variables and output variables. The quadratic matrices shown in the formulation Q, R, and R1, they put the weights on the tracked outputs, manipulated variables, and the output moves. The quadratic problem was solved using Cplex QP solver in our work. As you saw before, that a set of linear equations are needed in this MPC formulation. So we went for system identification, in which these differential equations were first linearized around the steady state point using the MATLAB system identification toolbox, which is a data-driven toolbox. So for that we needed data. So we went on for employing step response analysis on our system. From system identification toolbox, we obtained pseudo states equation in matrix form, and then they were used as linear constraints in MPC formulation. In this figure, you can see that the steady state is achieved while the heat is kept on at 30% after a time period of 60 minutes. After the steady state response analysis was performed, we gave a step rise in the heater percentage level, and you can see that increase in the percentage level of heater 1 has a direct impact on the heater 1 temperature, while the temperature of heater 2 increases very slowly. The number of states identified from the system identification toolbox were 4. MPC formulation, we ran a closed loop simulation for our system. The set of tuning parameters used gave such results, but if we have a good set of tuning parameters, much more better set point tracking can be achieved. Solving online MPC is computationally complex, as we are solving the optimization problem at each time step. So to address this computational complexity, explicit MPC can greatly simplify a runtime operation. So the mathematical formulation that was shown earlier of MPC was solved in multi-parametric form. Before going to explicit MPC, let me give you a quick overview of what is parametric programming and what is multi-parametric programming. As you can see in the mathematical formulation, the objective function is an explicit function of decision variables and parameter. And you have a set of inequality and equality constraints, plus there are some constraints on states and parameters. To solve such programming problems, POP Toolbox was used in our work. To give you a rough understanding of how multi-parametric programming problems are solved, a solution of a simple MPQP problem is attached here. As you can see that the parameter space is being divided or characterized into 9 critical regions, and each critical region has an optimal solution and objective function. You can see in the solution, the solution is obtained in the form of explicit function of the parameter, and the critical regions are bounded by a set of inequality constraints. So after having a rough understanding of how multi-parametric programming problems are solved, you can very well understand how explicit MPC algorithms are approached. In this, the optimization problem is solved offline for all the states within a range. At each time step, the current state is searched, and then the linear function is evaluated to get the current control action. So if you know that in which region your current state lies in, you can very well map it to the optimal solution. For the same set of tuning parameters which were used for traditional MPC, they were used for multi-parametric MPC too. And as you can see that the results of online MPC and multi-parametric MPC match. But there is a difference in runtime operation, and as you can see that runtime operation has been reduced by 83.52%. In the figure on the left hand side shows the hierarchy which exists in the process control activities. There is always an information flow from one level to another. On the right hand side, the structure shown is of the bilevel hierarchical model predictive control structure. To solve such algorithms, solving them online is computationally complex. So this is where explicit MPC algorithms comes into rescue. BMC algorithms, let me just give you a quick understanding of what bilevel programming problem is. This figure was borrowed from the reference cited below. In this, the researcher have tried to explore the natural hierarchy that exists between the distribution center and the production center. The mathematical formulation of the supply chain problem was formulated as shown on the left-hand side of the image. The upper objective function aim was to minimize the distribution cost, and the lower level objective functions aim was to minimize the production cost. And as you can see that the production cost is somehow constrained by the distribution cost. Linear BLPP problem is attached here. In this, you can see that the inner level is solved multi-parametrically. First, the solution obtained were as such. There were five critical, the parameter space was divided into 5 critical regions, and for each critical region, there is a unique solution mapped to it. The solution obtained from the inner level was y star, which was in the function of x. And after substituting it into the outer level, we get 5 linear programming problems. So after the 5 LP outer level problems were solved, we achieve optimized variables, that is X vector, and then those are substituted into the inner level problems, and we get the optimized variable Y star. So you can see that such algorithms guarantee a global optimum solution. After understanding the hierarchical model predictive control structure, explicit MPC algorithms, and we have tried to explore the hierarchy that may exist in our own system. So in our case study 1, we kept the upper level objective function as a linear objective function, and in the inner level, we have simply tried to track the temperature of the heater 1. And in case study 2, the formulation was kept similar, only in the inner level, we have tried to track temperature 2. Temperature of heater 2. Kept the objective function of the inner level as set point tracking of heater 1, and in a inner level we had kept the set point tracking of heater 2. TC Lab just a simple multiple input, multiple output device. So and using such algorithms were easy and comfortable. We will try to explore more on multi-level decision problem, and we will extend the BMC algorithms on more complex systems. Thank you everyone for hearing me out, and have a nice day.
Thank you, Shruti. Maybe you can stay back for a couple of questions that the audience may have. We have some time for 2 questions. Yes, please.
So, will the critical region be linear? I mean, is it a general result that critical regions will be linear regardless of what the problem structure is?
Yeah, they will be defined by a set of linear constraints only.
Does it depend on the type of problem that you have?
That is taken care by the objective function. Your problem is quadratic, or your constraints that is taken care by the formulation you have.
So let's say if we have a nonlinear objective and nonlinear constraints, will my critical region be linear?
I'm not sure about it because I have not explored the nonlinear constraint part, but as such, I can say that the constraints will be linear for now. Sorry for that.
Okay, thank you.
I can answer that. Yeah, so this is for special class in which like the objective function is quadratic or linear and the constraints are then you
Speak to the mic.
Yeah, so this explicit MPC, this algorithm is actually developed for a special class in which if the objective function is quadratic or linear. Or linear, yeah. And quadratic?
convex or?
Yes, I mean quadratic means it's convex, right? More or less. Yeah, and the constraints are linear. Then you can actually, it's using some sensitivity analysis. Then you can actually have a set of like regions which are like connected, and you can cover the entire parametric space. So that is why it is applicable to MPC, where the objective functions are quadratic.
Any quick question? Okay, so I have a quick question. So your title reads, under system plant mismatch, and I think probably we have missed it in the presentation. What kind of mismatches are you looking at? Is it a parametric mismatch, or a structured mismatch, or an unstructured mismatch?
We were again trying to explore MHE, but that didn't work for us. So we had tried exploring explicit MPC. So we went on one of the applications, that is hierarchical model predictive control structure. So that didn't work for us. So we tried extending it to some other applications.
So again, I kind of come back to the same question. What mismatch you're looking at between the system and the plant? And just going to the title of your talk. Is there, did you actually study the effect of system plant mismatch?
No, we tried, but it still didn't work.
Okay. Fine. Is there a response?
So actually that Arduino device actually had some issues, so slightly we changed to the.
Oh, right. All right. Further discussions can be done after the session. Thank you, Shubhi. Let's thank the presenter once again.